Hey everyone. Okay, so I gotta be honest, I was not a huge fan of this chapter. Now, I will preface that right away by saying I did like the what if scenario that this chapter offered of sort of a what if a what if scenario of what if Mother had never been born. What if she what if nothing was going to happen to the Earth? What if she just remained as the Earth as she was? What if our characters were allowed to grow up on Earth as like normal kids? And I do like that sort of what if scenario in its head of like I do like that sort of what if scenario in itself. But with that said, but by the pretty much time I had finished reading this chapter, I asked myself a simple question: what did this chapter accomplish? And for the life of me, I couldn't think of one thing. The only thing, and I do mean the only thing I could think of as to what this chapter accomplished is sort of giving us a resolution to her to I guess to from which I guess Pino's character of like just showing us the pretty much life the life she had pretty much wanted to live, and seeing that final scene of Shiki holding Pino, hugging her close. That was the best moment in the chapter. It was a nice farewell to Pino, but at the same time, it's like in leading up to that. What was it about this chapter that was supposed to that we're supposed to take away from? Like, I'm struggling to think about what that is, other than to show us like how she envisioned her life. And I guess there is some kind of some kind of like value to that. But I think more than anything, I think what we wanted more than anything is just to kind of get a little bit more of like what her like what's going to happen now with her dad. What's going to happen with those memories, kind of thing. Like, it's I think like I'm more interested in learning what's going to happen to what was going to happen to all those memories she had contained, rather than like what we got in this chapter. I again, what this chapter offers is just fine, but with us only having like what is it, one chapter left, I feel we should have gotten a lot more. Or like the site I read this manga on, it still says that there's two chapters left, so I don't know anymore. But it's like, yeah, it feels like with so few chapters left, whether it's one or two, this one didn't really do anything for me. Of all the chapters that's leading up to the end, this one was definitely the weakest in my mind. Although, again, with that said, go with that said, like pretty much going off, like I guess talking a little bit more about that what if scenario again though. This one still did offer a lot of cute, interesting interactions between between the Starshines as we know them and their human counterparts. Like, I'm not gonna lie, seeing the two versions of Ivory interact with each other, like of her saying me a nun, fat chance bitch, me a sickie, fan chance. Like, it's one of those interactions that generally is kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie, like an interaction like that is kind like this was. I will admit, this was a chapter that lived and died, but by a lot of its character interactions. But again, that's all I can really give it credit for. And and yeah, seeing and I did just love the Valkyries and the interactions of Valkyries with each other, and especially Hermits. Like those two especially. Like I especially love seeing Hermit kind of interact with herself, and sort of the idea of like, yeah, they're both pretty much computer nerds, just like science computer nerds. So they're gonna like find fascination with all of that. Um, but and I do admit that the one little scene between the two witches and the one we know saying to her human counterpart, have like you're going to be a mother kind of thing. It's like, yeah, again, this is I guess again this is a chapter I like for its character interactions, but as again if again this is a chapter I like for all of its character interactions, but again every time I walk away from those just those little bits of goodness that I think this chapter has, and I go back to that same question of what did this chapter accomplish. Again, I can't really I can't really offer much. Like again, it's hopefully next. This is one of those times where I'm hoping next chapter is gonna have a little bit more meat to it, because this one is out of all the chapters that are leading up to the end of this series, this one is definitely the weakest, and it is one of those chapters that unfortunately is might have an overall effect on how I rank on how I rank on how I rank Eden Zero, unfortunately, because if Mashima fails to fails to land the ending of this series, then I almost am forced to say is it might be lower than Fairy Tail, maybe. I don't know, but we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review, rant, whatever you want to call it. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and Liz Crunchyroll, but your notification bell, the subscribe button, and just share the video around, guys. Dark Knight of Signing off. Later, everyone.